All right, what is up, everybody? It is the Simple Side here with the Saturday Send Out for you. As always, this will be available on all your podcast applications, Spotify, Apple Music, and all that stuff. But I am going to tell you that there is a video that goes along with this one, and the video is very important. It's going to walk you through how to get access to the website, how to find the password to get access to the website if you're a paying subscriber, and all of that stuff. So, for free subscribers as well, you'll also be able to access a little bit of what's on the website, and you'll be able to figure out how to find and get a subscription. So, just be paying attention to that. Regardless, I just wanted everybody to be able to see with their own eyes how to get access to everything so that if there's any questions, they'll just be answered right away. So if you want to watch the video, go over to thesimpleside.substack.com. So you can just thesimpleside and then .substack, substack.com, and it'll take you right here. You should be able to find all this stuff. You can also find this video. So this post that I'm recording right now will show up right here. So you should be able to click on this, and that'll bring the video up. You can also find all of our videos and podcasts on our YouTube channel. So we're a small YouTube channel. We're focused more on the newsletter side of things, but it's been growing. And so if you go to our YouTube channel, you can find us at thesimpleside.finance, or you can just look up the Simple Side and you're looking for this indicator. So go and find some of that. But let's jump into how this is all going to work. So what we've got is this right here. So if you are on the homepage of the website, you'll see this little link. It'll say website, parentheses, thesimpleside.news. Click on that. And what you're going to see here is the password to access the simpleside.news website. So right here is the link to access the website, but it's going to be password protected. So only paying subscribers can get on there and see certain things. But what you're going to be able to see on there are all of my portfolios, all of my weekly picks, all of my stock research, all the macro analysis that I do, including those macro indicators that I have built now. And of course, we're going to be adding more all the time. So just be on the lookout for all that stuff. Of course, if you're having issues accessing anything, just email me, thesimplesidenews@gmail.com. And you can find this email again by just clicking on this little header on the website. You can also click on this button here that says Message the Simple Side. I'm logged into my account, so I can't click it. But you should be able to click this, and it will take you to a DM, and you can just DM me and ask me any questions that you have. And so how this page is going to work is you're just going to scroll down, and if you're a paying subscriber, right here, you will be able to see the password to access the website. If you're a free subscriber, you won't be able to see this far. There'll be a paywall, and you can join. But you'll see the password sitting right here, and then you just type that password into the website. So I'll give you an example of how this works. So you go to thesimpleside.substack.com, and you click on this right here, and then it'll take you to the website. There's a link right here to the website. So you'll scroll down, you'll find the password, you'll just copy it, whatever it is, then you'll just click on the link to the website. I'm on a VPN, so it's not going to work for me, but if I click on that, it'll take me to this page. And so what you'll see on this page, if you scroll down, is the actual compounded annual growth rate that our flagship fund has returned since 2020 when we first started it. And then you'll be able to see our returns year to date. So what you guys haven't seen yet is my release of the current portfolio for 2026 for the flagship fund. That's going to be sent out really soon. And you'll see that I entered into all these positions on the 2nd. I entered into them yesterday. So I didn't think there was going to be a lot of movement in the market. Clearly, I was wrong. 3 of our picks, which you're getting access for free if you're a free subscriber, 3 of our picks are up 3%, 2%, and 2%. So good performance out of the gate for a few of them. But of course, overall, you can see we're down on the year already. This contrarian trades CAGR, this used to be the old contrarian trades portfolio that I had that ended kind of late 2025, ended early 2025, late 2024. But this is going to get replaced with either the tech-focused growth portfolio or it will get replaced with the AI secondhand effects portfolio, and you'll be able to see the real, live, up-to-date percentages year-to-date and compounding annual growth rates for both of those there. And then, of course, you'll be able to see 3 of the top performers for whatever portfolio I decide to go here. Those will show up right here. This right here is for our weekly picks. So every single Saturday when we send out our podcast and our newsletter, at the very bottom, we have a weekly picks section that goes out every single week. And it's just 6 stocks typically that we think are going to be good opportunities for the upcoming week. And so you'll be able to see the year-to-date returns. And this is the current CAGR that we've been experiencing with that portfolio. And you'll be able to see all of that here. Then what you're seeing here is the compounded annual growth rate for the SPY, which in this case is referencing from 2020 till now. So you'll see it's higher than what you typically see, between that 8 to 12% range. It's been 13% since 2020, so you'll see that here. And then you've got your year-to-date returns on the SPY down below, so you can see how our portfolios are comparing in real time. Now, I want to heavily note that all of these numbers are tracked by the website and on the admin page of the website. I cannot edit any of this. So this is all based on code and based on the actual portfolios that we have, and I can't edit any of that. Now this card right here, you'll see says subscriber content, and then it says log in to view this week's picks. So what's going to show up here are a few, I don't think all 6 of the weekly picks will show up, but a few of the weekly picks will show up in this box. And you'll see, of course, it's currently blocked. And we'll talk about how to log into that in a second. If you scroll down, you'll see the My Portfolios, the weekly stock picks, the macro indicators, and the stock research stuff. So you can click on any of these to take you to those pages. And then, of course, if you want to join the newsletter, if you haven't already, you can click in here, type in your email, and you will join the newsletter. So you've got all that stuff. All right, so let's talk about what these buttons do. So see my track record will just bring you down to this data. The I want access button will bring you to this page. And so if you're a free subscriber, this is the perfect place for you to go. You want to know how to get access and you want the password and all that stuff. This will give you a discount code for your first year of Simpleside. So you can get access for a 20% discount for year 1. We try to offer that 20% discount as often as possible to new subscribers. And then after you subscribe, so let's say you're a free subscriber, you come in, you click this, it takes you to the subscribe page, you go ahead and you subscribe, that's all well and dandy. Then you can click on this button here or on this here, and this will take you to that same heading we saw at the beginning where you will be able to get the password to log into the website. All right, so let's say that you've got this password to log into the website, and you go to the website. Of course, that doesn't work for me. So you go to the website, it takes you here. All that you need to do to log in is just click on whatever it is that you want to see, or click the start free today, which will take you down to the sign up. So all you gotta do is just click on one of these, and then it'll ask you for a login. And then all you're gonna do is input the login that you see on that page. Now, if you're a paying subscriber and you don't know what the password is, you can click on this button here, which will take you back to this tab where you can find the password. If you're a free subscriber and you want the password, all you got to do is click here, and that will take you to the 20% off, and then you can kind of follow the rest of the flow to get the password from there. Obviously, I know the password, so I'm just going to log in here. And then you'll see that basically nothing will change. It will just show you the same page, but you'll be logged in at this point. And so let's say I want to take a look at the macro indicator. So I'll click on that. And here we go. So I've got access to all the macro indicators now. So if I scroll down, I can see the current market overview and the last time this was updated, which was the 1st. This shows me the current regime that we're in. So think of this as kind of is the market increasing, decreasing, and how do we expect it to kind of go over the next couple of days? So in this case, you'll see that we're in a 0.29 buy, which means the market's going up, or we expect it to go up, but we're not super sure that the market's going to go up. Then if you scroll down, you'll be able to see the weekly allocations that we have for the SPY, the GLD ticker, and the TLT ticker. And so this gets updated every Friday. You'll get new percent allocations that'll show up here. And then over on the right side, you can see the current regimes that each of these, I guess, ETFs are currently in. So you'll see that we have a strong buy right now on gold, and we're seeing an 82% portfolio weight for the gold ETF that we're tracking, the gold ticker that we're tracking, I should say. And then for TLT, we're at a sell, which is what is giving us that 8%. And then the SPY, we're at a buy, which is giving us that 10%. So anyway, these are all the current regimes and the asset allocations. And then if we scroll down, we can kind of see how these indicators have changed over time. So for the total macro indicator, that's what you're seeing right here. This is the total macro indicator. And so you can filter this over the past 3 years, year to date, which obviously doesn't have much data. We're only 2 days in. Over the past 3 months, monthly, weekly, however it is you want to look at it. And so what you can see is whether or not we're saying you should buy in general into the market, whether you should be risk on or risk off. And so you'll see how this gets ranked, across every day over the past 3 months. Further down, you'll see the SPY indicator, which is, again, current as of the 1st. It'll show you the current regime that it's in, the risk score. This maxes out at 1 and minimizes at -1. So 0.267 is a buy, but not a very strong buy. And then you'll see where the regime has been at in the past. Now, it's important to note that this line is actually showing you the value of the SPY currently. So you'll see how in the past, if we go to the past 3 years, our macro indicator has labeled the market strong sells in times where the market decreases, and typically labels strong buys in times where the market is increasing. And so you'll be able to see this across the graph. And then for just recently, you can kind of see how we've been relatively risk off. There's been some sell, some slight buys into dips, some selling as the market increases, some hold, and then of course we get a strong buy here. And that, of course, that strong buy then translates into a light buy. But you'll see we get this strong buy here, and then you'll see the market runs up, and then we'll see a buy here as the market's dipping. And so that's kind of how you want to use or track this indicator. And then you've got the same thing for gold, where the market kind of hits a peak, and the indicator will start throwing off a strong sell notion. And then you'll see a strong buy kind of hit as it gets into the dips. A hold will hit as the market's increasing, and then strong buy again. And so what we're expecting right now is this strong buy will translate into the market running up over the next couple of weeks for gold. Now, we'll see if that happens. Of course, the indicator isn't going to be right 100% of the time, but that's the regime that we're in right now. And if we jump down to bonds or TLT, you'll see how all that stuff is set up as well the exact same way. Lots of sell action happening, even as TLT is decreasing. So the indicator right now really does not like TLT, and you can see historically there's a lot more times that it's telling you to sell out of TLT than it is telling you to buy into TLT. But the times it tells you to buy are typically pretty solid times. You'll see here we run up quite a bit to a strong sell. You'll see here we run up, we run into a small sell, more buying, and then eventually we hit this strong sell here and across. So you'll be able to look at all that stuff with your access. Then we can jump over to the weekly picks. Again, I can't edit these returns manually on the backside. These are all updated based on the performance that we have every single week. And you can filter this out by the past 52 weeks, the past 26 weeks, the past 13 weeks. You can see what our returns have been, what the SPY returns have been, and what our outperformance has been versus the SPY over that time period. So you'll be able to track all of that. You can also see the number of weeks that we've tracked, our current win rate. So how many weeks do we have positive returns versus how many weeks we have negative returns? What our total return in, which again, you'll be able to see right up here as well. Then you'll be able to see the average percent per week returns. So again, we're looking at about 1% a week that we're returning with the weekly picks. Then you'll see the number of winning weeks. So this is just this percentage here, 53 out of 76. And then the current compounded annual growth rate, which is 49.8%. If you scroll down a little bit further, you'll be able to see last week's final results, which will show up right here. And then if we have picks for this week, you'll be able to see those picks for this week as well. What it'll tell you over here is the final returns and the status of that. So we are at -1% for a majority of these. They ended up hitting that stop loss that we have, but it'll show you the entry price, the prices that we're expecting, that we exited at, and then of course the take profit percentages that we have across the board. Then if you scroll down, you'll be able to see every week since the beginning of time that we started this back in July, what the returns were for us, what the returns have been for the SPY, and what the outperformance has been on our end or on the SPY's end. Of course, these were all the picks in 2024. These were all the picks in 2025, and you'll see 2026 start right up here at the top when we start the next set of weekly picks. So that's all that stuff. On the stock research page, you kind of get the same access to everything. So here you've got the total number of picks that we've made, the number of winners that we have, the win rate that we have, which just tracks how many of our picks are actually returning positive returns. We've got our best pick set up here, which of course is Figma, which we made earlier this year on the IPO day. And then we've got our average return here. And I think this average return is calculating the all the returns, all the closed positions average. So anyway, then what you'll be able to see is all of the open positions that we've sent research out on. So these will have the date that we researched them, the target date, so the time that we expect them to reach that price by, and if they don't, that's probably when the sell should happen for these trades. Then you'll see the entry price, which will be market open the day following the day we sent this out. So if we send this out on a Saturday, it'll be the day following, which will be Monday, the trading day following, I guess I should say. If we send it out on a Monday morning, it'll be Monday at open, will be the entry price you'll see here. Then it'll show the current price, and of course our target price. Then down below, it'll show you what our expected returns are. So that's the difference from the entry to the target. So we're expecting 13.4% returns on this trade. This will show you the current returns that we have on the trade, and then how much more that stock needs to run up to hit that target percent that we have. Then if you look at WDC, of course, you'll see the same stuff across the board and for all the trades across the board. And what I'll be doing is I'll be attaching the full research reports to all these. So if I click on this, it'll jump over to the research report that we posted for that stock. So you'll be able to go through, see all of the charts that we have here, get into some of the details that we have, and then of course look at the stock, how it makes its money, and then of course get access and insight into kind of all the stuff that we have going on for that research report that we posted. And of course, that happens. We looked at AM&AT. Here's one for WDC. And so same thing. You'll be able to go through and look at all these. So eventually what I'm going to try to do is put links here that will link you back and forth to the website, so you'll be able to access both of them. But regardless, that'll be coming in the future. And then, of course, if you scroll down to the bottom, it'll show you all the closed positions. So this one here, AppLovin, you can see we hit our target on December 26th. And actually, I think we hit our target sooner than that. But regardless, we still hit that 36.9% return. And if you want to verify anything, you can just click on the research tab. You can scroll down. Let's go down to the very bottom here. And we've got our base case, which shows that 730 Q2 2026 price target. If I go back, 730 price target, and there you can see our final return has been hit. So anyway, you can see all this across the board. Of course, I'm not winning all the time. We lost out on Kinview, which funny enough is a lot higher than 16 and actually went higher than our target price. So we missed out on that one. The trade desk, we failed miserably on. And then we've got some other picks that we had made previously that kind of existed before we started the research reports, but I included them in here. Last but not least, we've got our portfolios. Now, these haven't updated with data yet, but if you click into the flagship fund and go to the max, you'll be able to see the returns of the portfolio since we started it in 2020. And then if you go to annual returns on this filter, you'll be able to see the returns we've had each year, not the compounded, but just the annual returns we've had each year. So you can see in 2020, we experienced a 30% drawdown. but we made that. We sure made a comeback in 2023. 2024, you can see returns. 2025, we ended with 39.14%. And now you can see we started 2026 down 1.22%, while the SPY is down 0.37%. So what's really nice about how this portfolio is set up now is you can kind of look at all this stuff. You can see over the past month, 3 month, and 6 month, it's going to look weird because we don't have all the historical data to put in here. So it's just going to show you that we dropped from a 39% to a negative 1.2% or whatever return, but don't worry about that. So anyway, yeah, and we've got the CAGR tracked up here. What's nice about this is you can scroll down and you can see all of our positions. So you can see our average cost that we have. You can see the current price. You can see the return that we currently have, the current weight, and then the recent activity that we've had with the stock. So obviously you can see we set this portfolio up on January 2nd, so it shows everything as a buy. And if you want to see all the trades that have happened, you can just click on this change log here, and it will show you January 2nd, 20 changes, 20 stocks added. And so every time that I add or remove or whatever with the stock, you'll be able to see all of this stuff pop up in here, and you'll be able to see all the returns, all the weight changes and all that stuff. I'm not going to open this because I don't want everybody to see the current portfolio. I think I'm going to send that out either Sunday or Monday morning. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, so you can see all this stuff here. You can see 2 of my positions that I have, Meta and Google, for this upcoming year. But I think that's all I have for you. We're going to be adding the other portfolios in here shortly. But there you go. So this is the new website. Again, all this stuff will take you to where you want to go as well. So you can use all of that to kind of jump around also. I'm sure there will be problems that will come up every now and again. So if you have questions or feedback, just click this button. You can type in nothing for these. All you got to do is type in a message, click send feedback, and that will come directly to my email, and I'll know that I need to go and make some updates or change some things. So if you have questions or feedback, fill that out there. And I think that's everything for the website. Google Sheet will probably start to become relatively unused. This will be much easier for everybody to go through and use and access. You will have to put in that password every time, but again, you'll be able to find that password simply by clicking right here. If you're a free subscriber, you'll just need to join the paid subscription, and you'll see a paywall right here that you can use. And if you're a paying subscriber, you'll scroll down. The password will be right here for you. Again, if you have any problems, fill this out, or just email me, thesimpleSideNews@gmail.com. With that said, everybody, I think that's all I have for you on this today. The actual newsletter and all that stuff is going to come out on Monday morning because this one is kind of taking up everything. So in that Monday newsletter, we're going to be releasing the new flagship fund holdings. So be on the lookout for that. And then this password, I'm going to update it as soon as I get off this video. And so you will be able to go and access the new website immediately, starting today. So let me know if there's any issues, you guys, and I will be seeing you on Sunday or Monday in the newsletter.